We should be live right now. How y'all doing? YouTube. Um, 1 second. Third with my little princess. Blessed love, Tristan. Boom, we are on. Give thanks. It's confirmed. So what I'm gonna ask y'all first, give thanks for tuning in. It's an honor to be here with y'all. You know, it's really a beautiful time right now. And as we have a lot of kind of chaos going around us, I feel it's important that we come forward with some kind of balance and we just present the perspective so we always remain in control. Because a lot of the times, the issue isn't the actual issue, but it's the fact that we lose control and then we lose our ability to make decisions, to care for ourselves, and just to think rationally. So I just want to provide the vibes and tune in with y'all and see what's good. So this right here is my brother Sachin. Met him a couple years ago out here in Vancouver. He came out to one of talks I was doing, and we really just connected and vibed. And we've been working together. He takes some photos for me. He's a beautiful, amazing photographer. And I help him with some coaching and some wellness. And you're really the only person that I have, my only client that I have, you know, as I really stepped away and focused on the other parts of my business. So it's an honor to have you here. You want to say what's up to the people?
What's up, people? Yeah, thank you so much, Akeem, for sharing this space with me and for giving us an opportunity to just kind of ask you some questions and to kind of get your perspective on everything that's going on right now. And yeah, allowing the ARC community and us being able to share this on many platforms and on your YouTube. So yeah, excited to see where this conversation goes.
Give thanks. So let's see what y'all, how is it sounding right now? Before we really get into it, I would love to see how it sounded. Let me know, y'all. Got a few of y'all in here.
Check on the Instagram live, see how we're doing. Beautiful. Cool.
Give
Thank
thanks.
you. What's up, McLean's?
Give thanks, give thanks. Sounds good? Peru. Esther Cruz, much love from Peru. Sounds good. Give thanks, give thanks. All right, y'all. So, I was talking with my friend earlier today, and he's living in Las Vegas. And, you know, we're in Canada right now, so Canada's possibly like one of the most chill places, especially in Vancouver where we are. So there's not as much chaos going on around us, like there's not that much fuss. But as I was speaking to my friend on the phone, he called me and he was like, I'm frustrated right now. And I got pissed. I got mad at him. I was like, you can either be frustrated or you can do something about it. Are you gonna feed into what's going on or are you gonna take control? Because I was having none of it. You know, because there is no time for us to have any of it. Any of feeding into just chaos and feeling like there's something that we can't control here. You know, we have to know that we are in control. But I told my friend, like, yo, like, basically smart enough, let's go, man. We ain't here to feed into that and lose control and go into their agenda. We are creators and we control our reality. And I basically, after talking with him a little bit, I was like, man, like I went to the grocery store today and I stocked up, but it wasn't anything different. It wasn't like I was doing anything different or anything special, right? And then it kind of hit me that in this time, what we're being asked to do is love yourself and care for yourself. You know what I mean? And my man Sachin called me and you're basically talking about how self-care is so important in this time, right?
100%, man. Like a lot of people asking me questions around, you know, dealing with a lot of like negative thoughts in their minds, not unable to sleep, so much uncertainty around what they could be doing or should be doing. The news is ever evolving and changing, and yeah, it just falls down to a lot of self-care practices that if we have that strong foundation, then we can move forward from there with right action to take going from there. So.
Truly. So I was just thinking like, people right now are just not used to loving themselves or putting themselves first. So when there's like possibilities of having to be away from people like in quarantine, and when we're talking about preparing for the possibilities of having these quarantines, is basically just being able to be by yourself. And what can you do when you're by yourself? A lot of people don't know. A lot of people have not had the time or put a pause or a little rest in their life to be like, okay, when I'm just at home chilling by myself, I can read, I could journal. There's so many different things, but we're so used to putting asked to care for ourselves, we're lost. We're in chaos. And it makes me think about when I was first on this journey, and I was speaking to my family, and I'm just like, I don't eat that food. Like, I don't eat the oxtail. I don't eat the curry goat. I don't eat that right now. I care for my physical and what I put in it, so I'm not going to eat that. Guess how they reacted? They reacted as if I just told them there was an outbreak of corona. You know what I mean? They acted like I was crazy. They acted like, yo, what is this? What's up with you? Are you okay? Like, they were actually concerned, right? And this is kind of like that same vibe is when we have to start to care for ourselves and love ourselves, people are going to panic. You know what I mean? If I were to say something to one of my friends that's used to partying, going out, be like, you can't go out this weekend, they may panic. What am I going to do? What can I do if I can't go out? We just really have no clue. You know what I mean? So, for those of us who are, you could say, more introvert, I say I'm an introvert. For those of us who put time and effort into ourselves and care for ourselves, we're going to be like, oh, we have to stay home? That's a blessing. Give thanks. I have so many books I want to read.
Truly.
There's so many videos I want to create. There's so much that I want to do that I'm like, give thanks. You know what I mean? For those of us who have put in the time and care for ourselves, we're not running out and getting water because we think about our water every day. And we ensure that every day I got a good water source. Doesn't matter if there's possibilities of an epidemic or anything like that. Because it's that important. To me, my health and wellness is the most important thing. So that means I care for myself as if we are in one of these kind of crises, which means I'm highly disciplined, which means I say no and I do things that people think are crazy. Like, if you go out, when I was going out before and I wasn't drinking, people would think, you're not drinking? You're crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like these things, loving yourself and showing love to yourself and being disciplined are two of the rarest things on earth right now, and they're also two of the least socially acceptable things. It's crazy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. But yeah, so that was just the thoughts that I was having, and just how important it is for us to realize that this is the best time for us to go deeper into our self-love practices, to care for ourselves, to do the things like it's building up your immune system. We'll get into like more details after, but I just want to go off on a lot of these things, then we'll go over the topics. But for those of us, like, I think of myself and my being every day. How can I build up my immune system? How can I have my immune system so strong that when I'm in other people's environments, because I don't just think of when coronas come, I think of like when I'm around someone and their energy, if they're sick, I want to have this kind of confidence that it doesn't even matter because my immune system is so strong, it's going to fight off whatever you're trying to bring at me. So that's when we're eating these foods. That's why my business is a lifestyle business, because we're promoting a lifestyle to prepare you for whatever may come up. So we're not worried because we are taking all the steps, right? And another myth that I wanted to talk about, it just came to my mind, is who is most at risk, right? They say elderly people, right? I don't believe it's elderly people. But, because basically when they say it's elderly people, that means they mean that the older you are, the more, the weaker your immune system is. This is something that they think they can just give us, but we're not going to accept that. I don't believe that as I age, my immune system is going to be that much weaker, because throughout my life, I'm working on strengthening it. But it's the same thing that they say is, when you get older, you're going to become less flexible. You're going to become, you're just going to become less than you were, right? But you're going to be, you're going to have a worse memory, for example. But we know now that we have the ability to create new brain cells and new connections in our mind. So as we age, that doesn't mean we're automatically going to get weaker. It doesn't mean that we're automatically going to lose our ability to remember things, or our ability to stay fit, or a weaker immune system. It doesn't mean that. And we do not have to accept that, right? We can, doesn't matter what age you are right now. Right now you can make the decision to say that I am not going to accept that as days go by, I am just going to get weaker. You know, I like to look at it as every day of my life is an opportunity for me to fortify and strengthen myself. So when I'm 50, you're going to be like, you don't love 50? Can't believe you do that when you're 50. Oh, when you're 60. You know, there's some people out there, they're older, but they don't have the weak immune systems, right? So we gotta not associate age with being weaker, right? It's just that we, at some point, we let go. And we decided that we're no longer going to do what we gotta do to make sure that we're at our best and that we are the creators of our reality. So that is, you know, that's a little bit something of what I was thinking about, what I wanted to speak about. Let's go check out what's up with the comments. A lot of comments here. Give thanks, y'all. Boom. Should we discuss how at this moment in time, the masses are being prepared for RDIF chips/vaccination? Now more than ever, herbs, fasting, land, grow own food. Beautiful. Should we touch on that now, or should we get on that a little bit?
Up to you, bro. Just go with the flow.
Yeah. So, basically, there's the opportunity now for them to want to present things to us, like the vaccines and other possibilities. But right now, and this is not even right now, this is the thing. The thing is, it's not even now we gotta start to wanna grow our own food, or now we wanna own land. You know, this is something that we have been preparing for. You know what I mean? So, we have our retreat in St. Lucia. You know, we have the land there in St. Lucia, and we have the model doing these kind of things. So it's kind of like New Year's, where New Year's Eve doesn't mean that you have to, make New Year's resolutions. It's something that we continually do. But for those of us that aren't really tapped in, we're going to wait for New Year's. Let's wait for New Year's to plan. We know that it's best for us to grow our own food, to have our own land, but we're going to wait for a pandemic to come by to prepare. You know?
Totally. So what's, I have a few questions actually, if that's cool.
Let's get it.
What's a good way then for somebody to, right now, if they haven't got any systems in place, or if they haven't really been thinking about the future, during this time of potentially isolation, people are isolating themselves, how can they be creating their new future for themselves once they're out of isolation, or even now and tomorrow morning going forward? What's the best way to react?
One thing I feel is very important is, one, we have to love ourselves and care for ourselves. So those are the things that we have to keep ourselves at a high vibration, a high energy level, right? So what does that look like for you? Like, what do you like to do when you're at home? So for me, I want to be reading my books. I want to be creating videos. I want to be writing. I want to be journaling. And I want to be watching videos. I feel in this time is like more important, not more important than ever. You know, it's like, it's so easy for us to just be like more important than ever. But no, it's just the same importance. You know what I mean? But to put the importance on tuning in to high vibrational content. So while if you're in quarantine, like my friend in Belgium is, then tune in to high vibrational content. There's going to be a high, a pull to want to just watch everything about coronavirus. Watch everything about conspiracy theories. Let's read everything about what they're preparing us for, or distraction tactics, or blah, blah, you know what I mean? But I don't feel that's the best use of our time. I feel like we have to tune into that high vibrational content. We have to tune into that stuff that's going to make us feel good. We have to tune into, like, I hope when y'all watch this video, y'all are feeling good, you know what I mean? Like, ooh, because we vibing. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in just watching the negativity, right? And this is something that, for me, it's easy because I've been doing it. But for a lot of people, if it's not about the COVID-19, then it's about some other beef. Then it's about some other conspiracy. Then it's about this thing on Twitter, you know? And what we'll find is that a lot of us are just settled in to tuning into negativity like it's normal. You know, so I feel one would be to tune into positive content and to not just look at the negatives and what's going on, but really tune into positive content is one thing for the mind. Find out about meditation if you're not already. Like, learn about some meditation practice, some breathing practices where you could just be at rest at home and just know that your breath actually controls your immune system. Like, when you go into a panic mode, your immune system is weaker because you're stressed. You're worrying about getting away, right? Doesn't matter how dangerous this virus is. Something that's more dangerous is if a car is coming right at you. That's going to kill you right away. So your body, your heart starts to beat. You breathe faster. All the blood goes to your limbs so you can run out of the way. Back in the day, it was running away from lions and stuff like that, getting away from lions. So the stress response is really important. So when we go into meditation and just mindful breathing, then we're going to be telling our body that, hey, you can just relax and put all of your resources into caring for this vessel because we don't have any dangers immediate. Number two is tap into some meditation, some mindfulness and breath work, because we know the breath is the direct access to our immune system, to our hormones. So make sure we're being mindful of our breath. Let's just make sure right now, everyone who's watching, let's just take a few breaths. Because I feel like some of us actually may be taking these short breaths. Like being so stressed. Right? So let's just take a pause. We can slow down, you know what I mean? And let's breathe in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And just relax and just get a nice calm breath. So let's do this 2 more times. So breathe in through the nose. Nice relaxing breath. And just see how this changes your physiology. It's so important, y'all. So valuable. Bless. So
it's so easy to get off on track and get back into something that's negative, but then as soon as you catch yourself and then going back to that positive content, being aware of your breath, being aware of your physiology,
Yeah.
and changing your focus to a more positive vibration is essential. So.
Yeah. And it's important to look at this talk here. You could like look at this as like, what do I do if I'm wanting to manifest the best life? You know what I mean? This could just be a talk on manifestation.
True.
As well, and preparing ourselves to create our greatest life. So, you know, even if you watch this in a year from now, these are all tips.
Well, and to add on to that is to create content that create quantities of the food that you can have for later as well. So say if you're making a curry or something like that.
So I think it cut out.
Oh yeah.
So Sachin is just going over ways to get more comfortable in the kitchen. For those of us who may not be that comfortable in the kitchen. So yeah, you can keep going.
Yeah, sure. So I was just saying that basically to build up that comfort in the kitchen, you know, start small, create a simple meal that would nourish you and you know is like a good go-to, and then to really create larger quantities of that so that you have it for future dates, so that you're not going back into the kitchen trying to create a meal fresh again, and if that causes you anxiety. I know it did for me, so I would just create large quantities so that I can have that, you know, really nutritious food out in future dates.
Yeah, give thanks. It's I'm getting a lot of questions in here about the CMOS. Just like I'm seeing a couple things, but what I want to say about the CMOS is check tomorrow, because we're gonna just be counting our inventory, and then tomorrow we're gonna release some more CMOS. So we're definitely gonna have like a decent amount of full spectrum in stock, and then we're gonna have some of the we may have a half pound and the full pound CMOS. So just check back tomorrow on the site, and we're gonna have some more in stock. So for those of us who are asking about the CMOS, we're gonna get some more in stock next week, or sorry, tomorrow, and then so you can just check that out. So boom, learn how to cook and get the food that I just talk about on my channel all the time. Because if you look at what I talk about on my channel all the time, is get food that is dense in nutrients, nutrient dense foods, that is going to sustain you and make you feel vibrant and full of energy. You know, get you food that you like. You know what I mean? So go to the grocery store and stock up on food that you love, and go ahead and start learning how to cook, or just prepare yourself and cook your favorite feasts. Like I'm about to make some epic feasts. We got some chickpeas there, and for those of y'all who want to know how to use the bladder rack, I just learned, and I've been using this for like a month or so, that I cook my chickpeas with bladder rack in it, because bladder rack is a seaweed, and it actually helps with the digestion. Because some people may find chickpeas are harder to digest, but when you put the bladder rack in there, it helps with the digestion. Plus, it just tastes good. Like it just tastes good because it's like one of those delicious broths, you know. So that's up there. So let's go into some food tips, just like basic food tips. I feel
Sure.
like how to prepare. One is, get your minerals, get your colors. So boom, eat your greens, get your iron, get your magnesium, right? Get your vitamin C. Stock up on your vitamin C right now. And, that's just all naturally. If you have some oranges, like when you make the sea moss, you put lime in it, boom. All of these things, a lot of us are just going to be like, yeah, I'm already doing this. I don't have to change much. You know what I mean? So, that's going to be important. For the smoothies, ramp up your smoothies right now. Get that high-grade healing in there. Double down on your sea moss. Get your bladder rack in there. for those of us who, a couple herbs that I can think of is animal or gully root is a beautiful herb to have right now. Blue vervain is another herb to have high in iron, and it cleanses the system, right? So a lot of it is we have a buildup of toxins in us, and it's just staying in our colon, but we can just cleanse the colon, clean that out, and let that be removed. And these are all things that you can check out Honorable Priest Kailash's channel, and he'll go deeper into a lot of these topics. Stinging nettle is another thing to eat. And so get your minerals. That's why I love the sea moss. I ain't just doing it for, I do it because I really care about myself, and I want to have all those minerals. You know what I mean? I'm personally going to be stocking up heavy on the fonio. I love my fonio. Going to be stocking up on the farro. Have you tried farro?
No, I haven't.
It's only right that the Rasta farro, the Rasta farro, farro is it's like a delicious grain.
Okay.
And it's so versatile. It's great to eat like with a stew. So when I have my okra tomato stew, the specialty, put that on the side with some farro, put that on the side with some fonio, even some quinoa, and also going to be stocking up on spelt, and just having fun in the kitchen. It can be such a great time to have fun and just vibe in the kitchen. I'm going to put Priest Kailash. Someone asked for his channel, Honorable Priest Kailash, so you could look at that and boom, right? So you can see Priest Kailash is right down there, and that's the one side. Is just like the basics of getting the minerals and the nutrients into your physical, right? Because the minerals and the nutrients is what does all the work for you. That's what builds up your body. That's what is the thing that, so like, let's go into a little bit deeper. Let's go. So one of the biggest antioxidants, the most powerful antioxidants in our physical is called glutathione, right? It's kind of like the master antioxidant they call, or like the master key for your immune system, right? So as you have glutathione in your system in a nice level, then it's going to be able to fight off the different viruses, the bad bacteria, the oxidization buildup. Glutathione is like your best friend, so you want to have glutathione. And you don't eat glutathione, like you don't just go, well, let me get glutathione. No. But your body creates glutathione naturally, right? But what it needs to create glutathione is sulfur, right? So when you look at it, they look at a lot of these foods that are really good for your immune system, right? Like they have for me, gully root or animal or feuille du vent is like the best for your immune system, and it's high in sulfur, right? But some of the other things that they say is onions. They say onions is really good for your immune system. Garlic, garlic is really good for your immune system. It's because of the sulfur, right? And the sulfur is a mineral that helps your physical produce certain compounds that's going to help fight viruses, bacteria, and anything that is not meant to be inside of your physical. So that's the importance of minerals. Because I feel like a lot of us may just be like, oh yeah, get my 102 minerals because I heard Dr. Sebi say it, But there's actually a meaning to this, y'all. You know what I mean? Like there's actually a reason for why we need minerals. Magnesium has over 300 different reasons for why you need it. You know what I mean? But we focus so much on that, but let's not get sidetracked. That's another video. That's a whole nother video. So, boom, get the minerals in your physical to help get a solid base, to help so, you're just feeling good, you're feeling energized, you're providing your body with the physical or with the components that are needed for you to feel good and energized. Right? So that's a lot of the minerals. And high caloric foods for me, I'm gonna eat high calories. That's the fonio. Hemp seeds is something amazing. Hemp seeds have immunoglobulins in them, certain proteins that help your immune system. You know that?
No.
Hemp seeds are powerful, y'all. Hemp seeds, the protein that's in hemp is like one of the best for our physical. You know, it's one of the best. It is absorbed so easily, and it's also one of the ones that helps with our immune system. So hemp seeds are going to be very important, not right now, but all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the time. Like, I always got to stay stocked with hemp seeds. You got hemp seeds right now?
No, I don't.
Y'all. What should we do, y'all?
I'll be getting it, man.
Yeah.
Great, line up for the grocery store.
Yeah, so boom, that's something that we're gonna get for all time. You know, it's important that we get our hemp seeds in, right? As that's something that is gonna help your immune system, right? Shout out to Empress. She's up in St. Lucia right now, but she loves her ginger tea, right? Let's get some more ginger tea in our lives. You know, go get you some ginger. If you have a mortar and pestle, just pound it a little bit in your mortar and pestle, and then just boil it for some time and make a really strong tea. That's gonna be great for you at any moment. I love ginger. Do you have ginger at home right now?
I do.
You see, he's on it.
Always in the smoothies.
Yeah, you know, always gotta be stocked on ginger, and you can have the ginger, also turmeric, something very beautiful, very powerful, something that, you know, we just add this into our food, really amazing, and looks like we're cut off. No. Oh, looks like we're good there. Bless. So we're still good. I thought we were gone. So yeah, that's very important. Is, you know, certain teas and herbs, get that in your system, and just something I just read that, you know, was awesome. Herbalist said, Honorable King, also fasting is very important, and learning the science of fasting. Very, very, very important and very powerful thing. You know, so have you fasted before? What's your longest fast?
My longest fast would be just a day, man. Like no more than that. There's in my culture, like my background is Jain, and in the Jain, I guess, traditions, we have like a week per year where we'll fast. And we'll maybe just have one meal a day, maybe two. Sometimes people just skip, or they go the whole 7 days. Yeah. It's really about like removing a lot of foods that you eat that actually come from underground in the Jain tradition. So it's eating stuff that's above the ground, like really limiting, and it's cleanses the system, but also cleanses the mind and the energy. So yeah, but fasting, like right now for me personally, not doing it as much, but sometimes I'll feel that, you know, like I'm eating right now for the sake of eating. This is not super often, but sometimes I'll just be like, you know what, I don't have to. I feel very energized. I feel good. I'm gonna skip this meal this evening and just give my system a break. Yeah. And I feel like for now that's what's working for me. But I'd love to hear your advice and your guidance on that.
Good, thanks. So with fasting, like you could do like a couple day fast, but I find like something that's quite easy for a lot of us, if it's something that you're interested or wanting to explore, would be to time restrict the time you eat in. So it's called time restricted feeding. Some people call it intermittent fasting. But what it is just set a time window of, I would say, must be less than 10 hours. So 10 hours or less throughout the day is when you eat. And you could have it as low as 6, you know, and pretty sure right now in the Rastafari tradition, Bobo Shanti, they're fasting right now, and they eat only 1 hour of the day. So one feast a day. And that's an opportunity to reset spiritually, to reset your physical, and to basically get your body to utilize all its resources to get away everything that's not needed.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're fasting, it's like when we're going through a time when we think we lost our job, right? We're gonna do away with everything that's not necessary, right? Because we need to mind and be careful with how we utilize our resources or our money. So when we fast, our physical basically just does the same thing. It's like, oh no, we don't need that, let's get rid of that. Let's starve that, you know? So that's what's really important about the fasting. So, you know, fasting definitely is very great point. So, yeah, great point on that. And boom. So we have that. Get your minerals up to feel good and feel energized. And then, so yeah, like the ginger, the turmeric, the gully root, the sea moss, the fonios, the hemp seeds. I'm going to be eating a lot of chickpeas like usual. Like, this is all just the regular stuff, right? But one thing that I was also thinking about is like food that makes us feel good as well. In the sense of like a food like stinging nettle. Oh, it was just cut off, but we're back. Stinging nettle, it has serotonin in it,
Okay.
right? So it helps us to feel good. You know, soursop, it helps to relax your system, relax your nervous system. Blue vervain, same thing, like relaxes your nervous system. So those are all very beautiful things to have in stock at all times. It's ironic because I don't currently have it in stock, but I have it at home. So yeah, like these things that just make you feel good. Another herb that comes to my mind, let me know if any of y'all have heard of this. Mucuna purines. Have you heard of it?
No.
Potent. It's potent. So it's similar to stinging nettle. If you touch it, it pricks you and you get itchy, right? And it's because it's the serotonin that actually causes that itchy response. So, you know, I utilize these herbs in my day to make me feel good because I know I need to be at my best energy every day, right? So you could utilize these in this time. It is very important, very powerful.
If someone had to pick one or two of those to just go out on the next grocery shop tomorrow, what would you suggest out of all the ones that you've listed?
Of the,
Add to your grocery list.
I would say possibly the best, only because it's the easiest to find. I think for most people would be stinging nettle.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like stinging nettle is probably the easiest thing to find for most people around. Like the blue vervain, the soursops, those are a little bit more difficult. Yeah, and then just finding about like, oh, cacao, another one, chocolate, cacao powder. That's a potent thing. There's multiple different reasons why cacao actually makes you feel good, you know, makes you feel great. So, you know, get your raw organic cacao and make a cacao smoothie, a chocolate smoothie. Ooh, tastes like dessert. So good. You know, so that's gonna help you feel good. It has cannabinoids in there, anandamide, and it has phenylalanine, which these are the feel good, the love chemicals. You know, so when someone gets broken up with, they say like, oh, I'm just gonna binge eat chocolate. It's because it makes you feel good. Like it's actually in chocolate. You know what I mean? So yeah, cacao is actually potent. Let me see what she's saying.
Let us know if you've got any questions, guys. If there's anything that's coming up for you, or you know, during this time, if there's anything that Akeem or myself can have a conversation around, you know, just throw them in the chat on YouTube or on Instagram. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. ask your questions if y'all got any questions. Give thanks for everyone that's in here. As y'all can see, I'm a little bit excited. You know, I'm a little bit excited, energized right now. Because, you know, it feels good to be showing love to ourselves. And to be talking about loving ourselves and doing right by ourselves. You know, so Empress Dora, on a global level, you know, Empress Dora speaking about fasting last night and using it as a spiritual practice to allow us to clear any energy that isn't ours during this time. Also spoke about increasing our meditation practices for a longer time so we can create a greater sense of discernment and inner peace. Yeah, give thanks. You know, when I first fasted, you know what my greatest insights were? It was that I eat mainly to distract myself.
Wow.
Right? I eat when I want to procrastinate. I'm like, I'm snacking so much. You know? I went on a fast. I'm at the library. When I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't even have a computer, so I was editing my videos at the library. And I'm fasting, I'm at the library, and usually I work for like an hour, then I'll go eat. But then I'm like, oh, I'm not eating right now. And it's like, I'm not even like I'm hungry. But I wanted to leave my chair and go eat. You know, then I realized like, oh, I use food as a way to distract me. I use food as a way to procrastinate and not get things done. Because it's scary to realize our potential. It's scary for us to realize our potential because then we're going to be kind of separate us from others because we're doing something different. You know, so that was like my greatest thing with fasting was like, wow, why do I eat? And I had to question myself and get real with myself. And I realized a lot of the time it's just to distract myself. You know what I mean? A lot of the snacking is just to procrastinate and distract myself. You know? So, yes.
Great awareness, man. Like, just a beautiful time right now to have that awareness of ourselves. What are some of our like routines or habits? What are we eating? How can we eat better? How can we like set the standard for a few weeks from now to like really just grow and to set a new standard for ourselves to live a more high vibrational, healthy, abundant life going forward. I do have a quick question around grounding yourself during this time because a lot of people are talking about isolating, staying in, like not being able to go out, but that's not necessarily the case. You may have to isolate yourself, you know, from you know, maybe some of the public that may be unwell, and but you know, being around your family and being around friends who are healthy, for sure you can do that. But at the same time, getting out in nature and grounding yourself. Could you speak a little bit around grounding yourself?
My guy, my guy, you really learning, man. My guy's a wise man.
Learning from the best, man.
Yeah, it's very interesting to realize that grounding yourself or making that direct connection with the earth is one of the best ways for us to strengthen our immune system. You know? So that's one of the best things that we could do is really get outside and put our feet into the earth. Like, take your shoes off and connect directly with the earth, right? Get outside and, like, even just touch a tree. Like, it sounds kind of wild, right? But it's been proven scientifically that when you are making a direct connection with the earth, it has positive benefits on your wellness and your well-being. So, yeah, I do feel like every day to make an effort to go outside and to connect directly with the earth or to ground. If you are by the ocean, like, you know, just put your feet in the ocean. If you're by a river, like, go to the river and just put your feet in the water. You know, yeah, great point. Grounding is so important. And then also very important as we're talking about feeling good and immune system is the sun. You know, so look at the sun. Like we have the sun right there right now. And after this, I would love to go outside. But for us to get outside and get some vitamin D, right? Vitamin D3 into our physical, so it can do all its magic and its work. You know, so that's a beautiful point. Get outside and make a connection with the earth and the sun, right? And there are ways that you can ground inside your home by connecting to a grounding device. If y'all are interested, we could tap into that. But yeah, grounding is so important. The sun is so important. And yeah, what you were saying before is like, what about in a couple weeks from now? How do we develop these habits? And how do we start to create our lifestyle, right? And what I would say is just like every day, just do something that's going to like add to your wellness. Like every day, add like a little habit, you know, and even do one thing for 1 week, you know. So say when you wake up, it can just start very simple, right? For the next week when I wake up, I'm not gonna check my phone for the first hour of being awake. You know, for those of us that haven't done that or don't do that, that's like a great first step. Is like even don't check your phone for the first 5 minutes. You know, don't check your phone for the first 10 minutes, and then you could just work your way up. But I feel that's something to think about is, okay, for the next week, I'm not going to check my phone within 10 minutes of waking up, and I'm going to put my phone away 1 hour before I go to bed.
Yes, that's essential.
You know what I mean?
True.
And that can just be a very basic practice that we have that is going to be really potent and really helpful. And then, so that's a good basic start. Let's say for food, right? Make a new recipe. Just like try something new in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Just try something new in the kitchen. And allow yourself to experiment once a day in the kitchen. You know, especially if you have time. You know, if you have that time to put some work in the kitchen, then, you know, try something new, cook something new in the kitchen. You know, if you're someone who's transitioning from, say, you don't want to be eating meat anymore, what I'll ask of you to do is just think of what your favorite dish is, right? What's your favorite thing to eat, right? And you're going to make that into a plant-based version. And it's so easy. Say your favorite thing to eat is pasta, right? Let's say your favorite thing to eat is like Alfredo pasta, right? Just Google how to make plant-based Alfredo or plant-based Alfredo recipe. You know what I mean? And then that's a great way to start to develop all your capabilities to learn how to cook, and then get better, and then start to act in a way where you love yourself and you're showing it every day, every moment, you know? Or as I was saying before, is like act in a way where you think your health and your well-being is of the utmost importance. You know what I mean? So even like a great question to ask, right? I like to start my day with like a kind of like an open-ended question, you know? And like a question you could ask is like, what would my day look like if I take my health and wellness as the most important thing in my life? What would I do? You know, and just allow yourself to think. Like if health and wellness was the most important thing to me, what would I do? What would I be doing? You know, and just allow that question to go, and then just write down the answers. You know, just write down those answers, and yeah, ask yourself, what would I be doing if health and wellness and my well-being was the most important thing? I think just that question alone will help so many people.
Yeah, it's a good note to resonate on each morning as you wake up, as opposed to looking at your phone first thing.
You know?
Ask
Switch
that
your phone
question.
for a question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, you know, like maybe writing those thoughts down, journaling, like getting it into your nervous system,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that's wired into
Yeah.
itself, and then you can just keep building on that every day. You get 1%, a little bit better
1%.
every single day.
Mm-hmm. And
Awesome.
I had a friend call me the other day. He's from Belgium. And over in that part of the world, it's a little bit more hectic, chaotic. And he just called me for good vibes. He's just like, bro, I'm just wanting to get some good vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, love, that's what's up. So that's something. And this is something that I'm just working on in my day-to-day life as well, is to get in contact with those people that make you feel good more often. You know what I mean? And like actually schedule those things into your life. So if there's someone in your life that like, you don't really see them, but every time you see them, they make you feel so great. And you come up with great ideas and you end up just like getting into this mindset of productivity and solutions. But you don't really see them, call them, be like, yo, I really value being around you and I love when we connect and when we talk. And I feel like we got to make this something regular. You know, can we put this on the schedule once a week? Where we just connect for a call and we just go over how we've been doing, and do that.
Great advice, man. It's so simple as well, you know.
So simple.
Easy to set up.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
But I feel like, yeah, getting those people in your life that you really love, really care for, like my brother here, Sachin, I'm around him. Like he's here right now because he's good vibes. You know what I mean? He makes me feel energized. He makes me think of the possibilities in life and the solutions in life. So he's not just here just because. You know what I mean? And I feel like we have an issue with this, but like I want to be used and I'm using you. You know what I mean? I'm using you for your good vibes, for your great questions, for your energy. Right? I want to use you and I want you to use me. I want to be able to provide you value as well. Right? So when we're going around, we have relationships where we provide value, I provide value for you, you provide value for me. That's for me is like friends. That's a friendship. And Brother Paul talks on that, like a great talk that he had, but just how we got to be useful for each other, right? So get more useful people around you, especially if it's just making you feel good. You know what I mean? So when you go around, I remember back in the day, it's like, oh, are you using me? And that was like the worst thing. Like, oh, he only used me for this. It's like, well, if that's all he used you for, then get more valuable. Like, you know what I mean? Because we want to be used. If you're not useful, you're useless, right? So we all have those people in our lives that we share value with, right? So it's important to make sure those people are in your life. And I have a list of people right now that I have to call. I have a list of people, that I'm like, all right, every day I'm just gonna call like one person, just to be like, hey, how you doing? What's up? Give thanks. I appreciate you, man, so much. You're such a good vibe. I just, love your energy. I love what you do, whatever it may be. Or, yo, thank you for da. You know what I mean?
Essential.
Yeah, and just calling people and to let them know you care and you love them. It feels so good. And, just having those people to do that for and those people to do that to you, it's beautiful.
And what better time than right now to be calling people up, telling them how much you value them and how much you love them and stuff. It's essential. So beautiful. Right, we're gonna run out on the live feed over here on the Instagram. So
Instagram.
thank you guys for joining us. You can follow Akimo.therapy on Instagram.
Therapy.
And if you look for him on YouTube, Akeem Pierre. You'll
Give
find a lot
thanks. Let me see if it's on.
Find a lot more solutions and vibes. So I'm gonna say peace out here on the Instagram. 2 seconds, Akeem. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us. And we'll be providing you with more content and more lives very soon. Take care. Peace.
Give thanks, y'all. So, yeah, we're still tuned in. So, let's get some questions. Y'all got some questions about I see some. I love how y'all are helping each other out in the comments. As I'm looking, a lot of people are really just helping each other out. You definitely should get with a nutritionist or solution/guide the fast, or check out books like How to Get Well. You got this. So BM, what's a good way to fast if it's your first time? Drink only sea moss or sea moss and fruits and water. So what I would say is like a good way to start fasting is to just eat within a shorter time frame. You know, so you don't have to fast where you don't eat anything. But a great way to start is tomorrow, tell yourself, tomorrow I'm only going to eat between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And that means you fast a little bit in the rising and you fast a little bit in the evening, right? Do that for a week. If that's really easy for you, then say I'm only gonna feast between 12 and 6. You know what I mean? And see how that goes. And you know, that's a great way to start. So BM, if you want to try that out, that is blessed. And if you want to try, like when I first fasted, it's like I just had sea moss and teas. You know, I just said, okay, I'm only gonna drink sea moss and I'm only gonna drink these teas with specific properties that I wanted, right? So that was just how I started fasting, and I kept in tune with my reason for fasting. You know what I mean? So I was introspective. I wanted to learn more about why we eat in the first place. I wanted my physical to cleanse. I wanted to boost my immune system. So I wanted to get my minerals still. So I was having the sea moss, right? And then I was having like teas. Like I have my turmeric teas, my ginger teas, right? And liquids. So you could have like find out, ask yourself, why do I want to fast in the first place? So how about that? We'll just go like that. Whoever answered that question, I think it was BM. And maybe it looks like Michael. Oh, Michael was asking about before taking sea moss. No, you don't need anything. But BM, you were asking about fasting. So what I'll ask you is, what benefit do you want to see from fasting? And then once you answer that, then we could like even assist you in how to fast. You know what I mean? Boom. Give thanks, y'all. Give thanks. So, yeah, it's a time right now for us to really tune into ourselves, to put ourselves first, love ourselves like we should, right? Love ourselves like we deserve. And to start to build those habits, right? And what kind of things did we speak of? One was to tune into positive content. Tune into things that make you feel good. So how about you share some of the things that you watch or tune into that make you feel good, even if it's music?
Totally. So for me, it's people like Abraham Hicks, just checking out some content there. Obviously, people like yourself. I have this book of quotes, and I rotate it every now and again, and it just again like it's another question or something for me to kind of ponder on for the week. Just going to gratitude is my own, I guess, as my own content creation, journaling that, and just learning from other great teachers, people from the past who have been have known to just give great
some names.
techniques. Yeah, so Tony Robbins, I'm a huge
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, a huge fan of his. Tim Ferriss is incredible. As I mentioned, yeah, Abraham Hicks. Who else?
I love Sadhguru.
Oh, of course.
That's your homie.
Of course, Sadhguru is the one for sure for me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I left out Sadhguru. Yeah, Osho. There's many Maharishi. Yeah, there's so many, to be honest, guys. Like the two that I would say I tune into the most on the spiritual tip would be Sadhguru, and then on the energy, the business kind of side of things would be Tony Robbins, and then those two as a blend is perfect for me. But it's that awareness that I'm creating on a day-to-day basis that these are the right energies and the right tunes for me or the right content for me to stay in tune with on a day-to-day basis. So,
Good, thanks. Let's hear it from y'all. What are some things that y'all tune into for those good vibes? I love Abraham Hicks. I love Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
I love to tune into Sadhguru. Those are my main people to tune into.
Right.
Yeah, I really love. Yeah, those are my main people to tune into, and I love music.
Of course, man.
I love music, and music is so potent and so powerful for us to just raise that vibration and get that energy going.
Yeah.
So I love like music, like just putting on some music, and I know you love to just start dancing to get those vibes up.
Gotta move the body, man. Gotta move the body and just feel the music. Play the drums a little bit. Play the drums, or just get something to lift those vibrations.
Yeah.
So, David Goggins is someone who've been punching recently, and there's some some of his content with music. So that's like a beautiful blend. Even just recording your own voice, actually, when you're in like a high vibration and this is who I am, this is exactly who I am, who I want to be.
Yeah.
Just record that, and at a time when you don't feel like that, just go back and listen to it, because that's your voice. You said that. You said those things.
Yeah.
You can be your own inspiration too. Just getting the inspiration from those that are around you, and then, to be honest, as you said before, like getting value from friendships. Just today, just called you, hey man, let's have a conversation, because there's just so much negativity right now, and a lot of uncertainty, a lot of stress, anxiety. So I was like, let's create something and put something out there that's positive. And now so many people have tuned in, hopefully we hope we shared some value with you guys, and to continue that, guys. Like, it just keeps growing. So yeah, that's what I would say in terms of content.
Give thanks. I'm gonna just set up this YouTube, this IG. Not even really focus too much on that one, but that's blessed. You said something that I wanted to touch on. I kind of just lost that train of thought, but we gotta. It's gonna come back. Love Rose said Tom Bilyeu. Anything on Tom Bilyeu channel?
Nice.
Yeah, he's amazing. Impact Theory podcast. It comes back. A lot of the times we try to force ourselves to remember things. Just let it be in ease. What I was gonna say when you're saying record yourself.
Yeah. Something
that we do on our retreats is we record everybody, and they're having a message to themselves, right? Because when they're at our retreats, they may feel the highest vibes they've ever felt in their life. You know, just the nature of being around us, being in nature, cleansing, eating this good food, being around the children, learning so much. Like, people are in like the highest vibration possible. So what do? We set up the camera and we just say, you know, talk to yourself. Like, what are you feeling right now? And then we send them the video after the fact, and then they're able to look at themselves in that state. Look into the eyes of themselves in that state and see, just like you remember how you felt in that moment when you hear it or when you see it, right? So yeah, that's something that we do on the retreat. And yeah, I think that's really potent, and that's something that I actually started to do before creating content for any social media, was record stuff for myself. Because I love to be able to look back and remember myself in that phase. Even if it was a phase where I was kind of like more sad, or in a phase where I was confused. I'm like, oh, I'm not even there anymore. Give thanks. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's beautiful to always like record yourself, tune in to yourself, and tune into the vibes then. Bless y'all. I wonder what channel I'm on.
Awesome, guys. Everyone's loving the singing bowl.
Y'all loving the singing bowl? Give thanks, y'all. This is singing bowl. You know, it just helps you tune into that vibration, that energy. This is the Empresses. This is the kind of stuff that just vibes. You know, get you something to play at home. You know what I mean? This is like a little instrument that anyone can play. You know what I mean? And just when I sit here and play it, it's epic. You know? So get you some instruments at home. You know, it's a great vibe. And yes, loving the vibe, love your energy, give thanks. Give thanks, give thanks. We out here vibing, y'all. And yeah, the Empress is out there in St. Lucia right now. I want to send some love to her if she's watching. Probably ran out of data because it takes so much data watching this long live stream. So yeah, give thanks for everyone for tuning in. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling great, man. Feeling good.
Give thanks. Give thanks. So yeah, let me answer Naman's question of how can I bulk up. Listen up, Naman. I'm not going to tell you how you can bulk up. You just got to tune in, because I'm going to be going on a journey of bulking up myself, and I'm going to be sharing that with y'all. So we'll be tuning into that a little bit, but it's really just eat high nutrient-dense foods while challenging your muscles to force them to grow, or give them a reason to grow, basically. Right? Give your muscles a reason to grow while giving them the nutrients needed for them to grow. So
and know your why. You said, you touched upon that earlier, like, you know, why do you want to bulk up? And then when you have that reasoning of, or that connection with your why, the how starts to come, you know? So tuning into the why is so important.
Yeah, tune into your why. So valuable, so important. And you know, what is the why? And with the why, I'm getting some questions over there.
I'll have a read.
But with the why, is like so important for us to tune into our why at all moments. So when something does come up that's kind of controversial or troubling for us, we know our vision, we know our purpose, and we can stay tuned into that.
Awesome.
You know?
Got a question here from Pink Bricks. He says, what can I use for my low hemoglobin level?
Low hemoglobin levels. Ooh! One thing is eating the foods that are iron rich. So for the, like there's been people who have been eating the sea moss and the bladderwrack, and that is helping with their levels. And just knowing what minerals go together with the iron, like the vitamin C, the magnesiums, getting your minerals up. And I would say like stay away from these iron pills. You know, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but there, and just eat these natural foods with a lot of iron. Cleanse your gut, like clean your gut. Something that I learned from Honorable Priest Kailash that really was amazing was your liver, like to cleanse your liver, because your liver is holding on to a lot of the iron. So to allow that to disperse into your system. So to cleanse your liver, allow that to cleanse. That is, he would say the cassialata, which is a herb. Senna, that's where they get that. It's a type of senna, the senna pods. But you could utilize that, and give thanks. And much love, y'all. I'm having fun. You having fun?
Having a good time, man.
Give thanks, y'all. I think that is good for now. You know, I've had a great time. I feel like we may just be doing more live streams because I love just connecting and I love the vibes, you know, so just doing some more live streams and just releasing more content. I gotta challenge myself to put out more content. My man here is on a content challenge himself.
True.
You know, just because creating is so important. You know, and honorable the herbalist said, I create our own realities, right? And that's very true, right? But it's hard for us to believe that we create our own realities when we can't even create a sound like a song, or we can't even create a video if that's what you do, or you can't create a feast, you know, you can't create a solution, right? So as we look into creating our realities, it doesn't have to start from like this big thing of like, yeah, I'm the creator of my life. Just be like, I'm the creator of my food. You know, I'm the creator of my journal. You know, like really just start creating on a small, simplistic, basic level. I am the creator of my thoughts, right? So when you're having these thoughts, this negativity, this chaos is seeping into your brain, just check yourself and be like, I'm the creator here. And I'm going to replace that thought with a new creative thought because I'm a creator. So let me just replace that thought. I'm stuck at home. This coronavirus is just so annoying and frustrating. Nah, let's recreate that thought. Wow, give thanks. I get to be at home right now with so much time to read, so much time to experiment with different recipes, with just being in my own vibe and practicing things that I don't usually get the opportunity to practice.
True. That's so blessed,
man. Right? It's like just a little thought. Just a little thought. Boom. People, the Empress is in here right now. I'm going to talk to her right now. Because she's around me the most out of anyone, right? And I frustrate her a lot. I know I do. And I know I do because I'm very low tolerance for those thoughts that are not empowering. So when she is saying something, and it may just be something so so small and little, where I'm just gonna be like, let's change that. How can we change that to be empowering? You know, and she's just like, oh, but it's just, I'm like, my love, I know, I get it, but like, let's really practice. Let's really practice. Because our natural programming, if you're anything like me, the natural programming is to focus on like the negative thing. You know, how I've been raised is to focus on the negative, to focus on complaining, right? So me and her, like, we challenge each other to bring forward the empowering thoughts, right? So if she catches me, you know, sometimes she catches me and I'm not as like, I won't say it in the moment, I won't admit it. But then after the fact, I'll be like, yeah, my love, give thanks, yes. You know, and I'll just like confirm, you know, you're right. Or I'll go out of my way to say something extra to let her know, like, you know, I heard you, you know? But in the moments, even for me, it's sometimes when I get caught into a negative thought or in that low vibration, and she catches me on it, I'll be like kind of resistant at first. You know, but then I'm like, all right, I gotta come out of this. And then I'll have her, and then I'll, you know, speak to her and, you know, let her know that, you know what, you're right. Or say something that, you know, allows her to, you know, be on that vibe. So I think that's important to, one, for ourselves, to keep ourselves accountable. Because in our own mind, no one can really monitor it, right? So in our thoughts, there's no one there being like, hey, you, like, none of that, like, get out of here, thought, or no, change that thought. We have to be accountable for ourselves, right? So that's one, we have to be self-accountable. But then two, we gotta have people around us and systems around us that keep us accountable as well, you know? And we gotta have at least one person in our life that is going to be willing and able to be the bad guy. Just so I can be like, like when my friend called me earlier, bro, I'm frustrated. I'm like, what the heck? You gonna be frustrated? You gonna just feed into all that? Come on, man. No, we don't do that here. Make your choice. You know what I mean? Oh, but, you know, I'm just saying, I'm not, it's okay, like, there's nothing wrong with what you're saying, but just make a choice. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with what you're saying, but just make your choice. Do you want to be in empowerment, or do you want to be in this low vibrational victim frequency? You know, so I choose to be that person for those people around me, and I want people around me to do that for me as well. So I want to empower people to do that around me. You know, so if I say, like, looking at the words, and if I look at the words and I'm like, good morning, you know, if I were to say good morning, I would like you to say grand rising. You know what I mean? Even if you don't say like, oh, it's not good morning, it's grand rising. When you tell me good morning, or when I tell you good morning, you respond to me with grand rising. And then, oh yeah, thank you. So it doesn't even have to be so like, no, that's not right. But like, you can just like, okay, what meal are you gonna eat today? Or I plan on feasting on some, you know? So then you could just, there's ways to be accountable for people without having to like make them feel terrible. You know what I mean? We're on low.
Do you want me to plug that in?
Yeah. We are the creators. I'm gonna get actually. Oh, that's sore. Cause you put me onto this. You put me onto this, my brother. It's so useful. Blessed love, y'all. So we'll keep this charged up. So yeah, y'all. Bottom line. What we're having to do now, being forced to do, is the things that we gotta be doing on the daily. We gotta put ourselves first. We gotta tune into that positive content, tune into those things that make us feel good. We gotta be disciplined with our routines and our habits. And we gotta pay a lot of attention to what we do right before we go to bed and right when we wake up. We gotta be able to only put those things into our physical that are life-giving. We got to be able to know that this is going to make me feel good, so that's what I eat. We got to be disciplined with our food. We got to take up a meditation or mindfulness practice, right? Even if you just sit there and just breathe, or if you walk and count your steps as you walk, right? But some kind of mindfulness, some kind of meditation practice, that's going to be important.
The inputs with the content that you're watching, the sounds that you're letting in through your ears, the words that you're using as well. As you mentioned.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I like that thought. They're like interesting. Let's just go on this one. So, as there's the virus going on, right? The U.S. doesn't allow any flights from Europe into the U.S. right now, right? Because there's a high likelihood of people in Europe to come and to bring the virus with them, right? So what we can do is think of ourselves as a country, and think of us as a country, and we have a border, and our borders are our eyes, what we see. Our borders are what we hear, what we listen to. Our borders, what we eat, what we put into our mouth. Our borders are what we speak and what we let out of our mouth. Our borders are our thoughts, right? So, what we touch, right? We got to be very mindful of our borders. Treat yourself like you're in a state of emergency with your borders right now, and only let in the most empowering and beneficial things possible. Only let in the most powerful thoughts. Only eat the most high vibrational food that's going to make you feel so good. Woo! I got some sea moss gel right there. You see it in the blender? Right there. Tap into some sea moss gel, because I let that into my border. It's going to make me feel good. It's going to do better. So let's treat ourselves like a country. Let's treat ourselves like a country. Let's treat ourselves like a company, and just watch our borders. Watch what we're listening to. Watch what we're watching. Watch what we eat. Watch what we're speaking. Watch how we let people speak to us. Mind our environment. Like, have plants all around you. Like, your home should have so many plants, y'all. This is my inner jungle. I got plants everywhere, you know? So, discipline, exactly. Discipline is it. Discipline is it. But really be mindful of that. And at the same time, be non-judgmental, right? So, if you do allow something in that isn't empowering, then be like, oh, that wasn't empowering, you know? And then just be like, next time I'm not going to allow that to happen. Or, now that it's here, how am I going to deal with it? And then just deal with it in the moment, right? So it's very important that as we want to elevate and reach new standards in our life, that we are non-judgmental and we're not so hard on ourselves, right? Everyone is on their own path, on their own journey, and allow that to be your journey, and let it come with ease, but don't allow yourself to stay comfortable. But don't be too hard on yourself, and don't judge yourself if you do make any mistakes.
Easy to go down that path, but stay on the right vibration, the right flow, and a useful thing that I just say is just 1% every day. Just want to grow 1% every day, and in a year, 2 years, etc. Just keep growing. It's blessed.
Yeah, stay around those high vibing people. Call those people that give you good vibes. Call them. Set up every week to have them on the phone. Be really mindful of your being, and really start to write and keep a list of things that make me feel good.
The joy list.
Yeah, the joy list. Like, these things make me feel good. These things don't make me feel good. these people make me feel good, these people don't. Just start keeping that list. And that's a good way to just keep yourself accountable. Why am I always hanging out with these people that don't make me feel good? Oh, I wonder why I don't feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So simple, guys. Like, just want to say, like, with the joy list, like, do that right now, guys. Like, get out the pen and pad.
Yes.
Write 5 to 10 things that just make you happy. Write 2 or 3 people that just, like, you love and you want to stay connected with, who are a high vibration. Write 2 or 3 people down that give great content that, you know, and then look at and stick it up on your wall at home and like look at it every day and then make moves, like grow in that direction, keep pushing forward in that direction. And these are the ways that you're going to change, you know, like take action from this video. Don't just like listen and absorb it just for this moment, but like seriously, go get a pen and a pad right now, write it down. I always have paper and a pen with me. And make some changes, guys. Like this is beautiful words that Akeem is sharing with us, and thank you, Akeem.
Thanks. As you say that, I like that. Take some action. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be doing a giveaway, right? So I'm gonna be doing a giveaway to someone. I'm gonna be giving away 2 packages of CMOS, right? To the first 2 people that send me a message on Instagram, or however you can get to me to send me a message with a video or a photo that shows your list of things that make you feel good. Close the close there. Boom. So, for all of y'all who tuned in, you stayed along for like almost an hour and a half. Give thanks. So we're gonna add some value to y'all right now and get y'all stimulated to take some action. The first 2 people to DM me, send me a video, send me an email. So I'll write my IG at chemo.therapy. Boom. So the first people to DM me a picture or video of their list of things that make me feel good. And even you could just cover up the things. I don't even have to see the actual things. I just want to see this list and that you took the time to, what should be on the list? Things
the content that they who they're inspired by, maybe some of the foods that are high vibrational that they love, some of the music that gets them lifted up, the people that they want to surround themselves with, places that they can go to get grounded, some of their favorite recipes maybe that lift them up. So many things, guys. Like it can be so simple as well. Make it simple for yourself.
Yeah. So we got 2 packs of CMOS given out for the people who make their list of things that bring them joy. And I also want to add to the things that bring them joy is just write 1 to 3 things that you want to stay away from and do less of. All right, y'all? So give thanks for tuning in. Give thanks, my brother, for coming by and blessing you with those vibes. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. Everyone stay on those vibes. Stay calm. Stay focused on the solutions. And send me the DM if you want to win the CMOS. And yes, much love, y'all. Give thanks. Catch y'all on the next one. Ja! Rastafaro.